I still remember the rain that night like it was yesterday. It wasn't just rain. It was the heavens pouring out every tear I couldn't cry yet. I was only 16, 7 months pregnant, standing on a dark street corner with soaked clothes clinging to my shivering body. My old backpack felt like it carried the weight of the entire world. Every step sent pain shooting through my swollen ankles. My name is Sophia, and this is the story of how the people who were supposed to protect me left me broken and alone, and how, exactly 20 years later, I stood in a courtroom facing their polished lawyer as he nervously said, "Good morning, Judge." Let me take you back to the beginning. I grew up in a modest house on the edge of the city. My parents worked hard but always seemed one paycheck away from disaster. When Ryan Harrington entered my life during my sophomore year, it felt like a dream. He was handsome, confident, from the richest family in town. His parents owned multiple companies. They lived in a mansion with marble floors and chandeliers that sparkled like stars. Ryan would pick me up in his shiny black car, take me to nice restaurants, and whisper that I was special. When I found out I was pregnant, my heart raced with both fear and hope. I told him one evening under the oak tree near school. Instead of panic, he hugged me tight and said, "We'll figure this out together, Sophia. I love you. This baby will have everything." For a short while, I believed we were building a future. I imagined nursery rooms and family dinners. But that illusion shattered one cold November evening. I went to their mansion after school. Mrs. Alina Harrington, Ryan's mother, answered the door herself. Her eyes scanned me up and down with pure disgust. "You're not keeping that child," she said in a voice like ice, "and you will not ruin our family's reputation with this mistake." Ryan stood behind her, silent. The boy who promised forever didn't speak a word as his father pulled out a checkbook, wrote an insulting amount, and tossed it at my feet like I was begging on the street. When I refused to disappear, they made calls. My own parents, scared of losing their jobs and connections that somehow tied back to the Harringtons, told me I had brought shame to the family. They packed my bags and locked the door behind me. That night I became homeless. I walked for hours until I found a shelter. The lady at the front desk took one look at my pregnant belly and gave me a thin blanket. I lay on a hard cot, hand on my stomach, feeling my baby kick softly. I whispered, "I'm so sorry, little one, but Mommy is here. We'll survive this." Months that followed were a blur of survival. I ate whatever the shelter provided. I attended prenatal checkups alone, sitting in waiting rooms while other moms had husbands rubbing their backs. When Lily was born in a crowded county hospital, no one was there holding my hand. The nurse wiped my tears and said gently, "You're stronger than you know." In that moment, holding my tiny daughter, something inside me cracked wide open, but a new fire was lit. I vowed I would never let her feel unwanted. Party Popper generated successfully the first few years were the hardest. Scene after scene of quiet desperation played out as I fought just to keep us alive. By the time Lily was 2, we moved from shelter to shelter. I worked as a waitress during the day and cleaned offices at night. My body ached constantly, but I smiled for Lily when I got home, reading her stories by the light of a cheap lamp. One freezing winter night, the power got shut off in our tiny room. I wrapped Lily in every blanket we owned and held her close, singing lullabies until she slept. Tears streamed down my face as I wondered how the Harringtons were sleeping warmly in their mansion. Lily's first day of school. I couldn't afford new shoes. I stayed up late polishing her old ones. When she came home excited about making friends, it gave me the strength to keep pushing. I enrolled in night classes for my GED, studying at the kitchen table after she went to bed. Lily got seriously ill when she was 7. High fever, coughing that wouldn't stop. I had no health insurance. I sat on the floor of our small apartment for hours, holding her burning body against mine, rocking her gently. "Mommy won't let anything bad happen to you," I whispered over and over. I cried so hard that night that my chest hurt. The next morning, I begged the free clinic for help. Seeing my daughter suffer because of their abandonment fueled a quiet rage that slowly turned into determination. I started my first small consulting business from our living room. I took every odd job, helping local shops with paperwork, giving advice to small business owners. Many nights I wanted to give up. Friends I made along the way would say, "Sophia, you're carrying too much." But I couldn't stop. Every success, no matter how small, felt like taking back a piece of what they stole from me. Lily's middle school years. She asked about her father for the first time. I sat her down and told her a softened version of the truth, that some people choose comfort over love. She hugged me and said, "I don't need him, Mom, I have you." That moment healed something deep inside me. I finally earned my college degree after years of struggle. Walking across the stage while Lily cheered from the audience was one of the sweetest victories. But the old wound still throbbed whenever I saw happy, intact families. Building my reputation in the business world, I became known for being honest and sharp. Clients trusted me. Slowly, our life stabilized. We moved into a small but cozy apartment. Lily grew into a smart, kind teenager who excelled in school. Then came the turning point. A thick case file landed on my desk at the law firm where I had become a respected attorney. Harrington Enterprises was being sued for massive corporate fraud, cheating investors, employees, and even charities out of millions. Ryan's family name was all over it. My hands shook as I read the documents. Old photos showed an older Ryan and a leaner at galas, still looking entitled. The pain rushed back like a wave. But instead of running, I accepted the case as one of the lead attorneys. This was my moment. The courtroom smelled of polished wood and tension on the first day. I walked in wearing a sharp black suit, my hair neatly pulled back, head held high. Lily, now 19 and a college student, sat supportively in the back row. She had insisted on being there. Before we left home, she hugged me and said, "Go show them who you became, Mom." The Harringtons entered with their expensive lawyers. At first, they didn't recognize me. 20 years of growth, pain, and strength had transformed me. But when a leaner's eyes finally met mine, I saw the exact moment recognition hit: confusion, then shock, then fear. Ryan looked pale, like he'd seen a ghost from his guilty past. Their lead lawyer started confidently, but I was prepared with years of evidence and even more years of emotion. During cross-examination, I didn't just present cold facts. I spoke from the heart about the real human cost of greed, how their actions had destroyed innocent lives, including a pregnant 16-year-old girl they threw away like trash. The courtroom fell completely silent. Jurors leaned forward. Eleanor's hands trembled. Ryan stared at the table, unable to meet my gaze. Over the following days, the trial unfolded like a slow storm. Witness after witness testified about lost savings, ruined retirements, and broken trusts because of the Harrington schemes. I stood strong, my voice steady but filled with quiet power. One afternoon during a break, Ryan tried to approach me in the hallway. His voice cracked. "Sophia, I was young, I was weak. I should have stood up to them." I looked at him calmly. "You didn't just abandon me, Ryan. You abandoned your own daughter. She grew up strong and brilliant without you." That's the real justice. I turned and walked away, leaving him standing there with the weight of his choices. On the final day, their lawyer stood before the judge and began with those now famous words. "Good morning, Judge." His voice shook. The same greeting that would become the symbol of their downfall. The judge delivered a powerful ruling: massive damages, public exposure, and reputational destruction. The Harrington empire cracked that day. After the verdict, I stepped outside into the sunlight. Lily ran to me and we embraced tightly. That night we sat on our balcony looking at the city lights. She rested her head on my shoulder and whispered, "I'm so proud to be your daughter." That peaceful moment, I finally felt free. 20 years ago, they tried to destroy me. They left me pregnant and homeless on rainy streets, certain I would vanish. Instead, I rose. I built a meaningful career. I raised an incredible young woman. And I found justice through perseverance, not hatred. If you're watching this and you're in your own dark valley, feeling abandoned, betrayed, or hopeless, please hear my voice. Your pain is valid. Your tears matter. The nights you cry alone, the days you fight just to survive, they are forging you into someone unbreakable. The people who hurt you do not get to write your final chapter. You can heal. You can rise. You can walk into your own courtroom one day with your head high and your heart whole. Thank you for staying with me through this story. If it moved you, share it with someone who needs hope. Comment the word "rise" below if you believe in quiet strength and second chances. This is Sophia, signing off with love and strength.